Thank you so much. I'm recording so that others will be able to access the recording in the future. So welcome all of you. So today we are actually helping each other. Sorry about that. The theme of our workshop today is authors helping authors. I am not going to teach you something today, but you are the one who's going to share your experiences as authors. So we have May today. She's going to introduce herself. And then I've got some questions for May. She'll be answering all those questions. And then after that, if you have something to say as an author, you are going to share your experiences. Remember, the purpose of our workshop today is to equip each other and to help each other advance in our writing journeys, in our writing career. Ms. Ray, thank you so much for this opportunity to allowing yourself to be available to actually help us as authors. Can you please greet everyone before you proceed? Thank you.
Good morning. Hi. I thank you for allowing me to be on the platform today. I feel quite blessed. And my name is May Rajoo. And thanks, Richard. Must I introduce myself? Not
Please
yet?
do. Please do.
Okay, my name is May Rajoo, and I'm originally from Chatsworth, Durban. Sorry?
So
Continue.
nervous.
Pastor Tolagele,
Okay.
please
So
mute yourself. Pastor Tolagele, please mute yourself. Okay, proceed, May. Sorry about that.
Okay, I was raised and born during the apartheid era in an Indian township called Chatsworth in Durban. So I was born in that environment, one of 6 siblings, struggling financially, very poor, but I never knew I was poor because I had a father who raised me, and he told me I was actually a real princess because my father owned the kingdom of heaven. So I was raised with that mentality, and yes, that is me.
Thank you so much. What a great testimony. Can you please help us to know how and when did you start writing, and also who helped you in your writing journey?
Okay, Richard, you know, I grew up with a father that was very well read, you know, even though we were born in such poverty. He, reading and writing was, you know, cost nothing. So he encouraged us to always be writing and reading, and we always had a world map on the wall, which I have here as well behind me, where he quizzed us on the countries of the world and the capital. So while we were stuck in a little cottage, in a little farm, mentally we were like global. So I would always write down little, you know, poems, always be writing and reading a lot. I read a lot. So that reading encourages a lot of ideas, and also it takes your mind to the place, you know, books are like the eyes of the world. And then we were very friendly people because we grew up with motto that there is no currency in the world that's more valuable than a human soul. So we loved people. if we didn't even see a race or a color. You know, if somebody was selling something on the street, we would run up and greet them and call them for a cup of tea. And in the meantime, my dad will give them the word of God. So that was the lifestyle we grew up in. So the communication, lots of communication, lots of reading activity. And well, I would take old newspapers, read it, put it under the paper, and if I couldn't find any material, I would go reread them, you know. So reading is so important. You actually get an idea as well of other people's experiences and how to write, how to think, how to express yourself. So that helped me a lot in writing. And I must say, when I did start writing, I must say, Richard, to be honest, the book that we are talking about now, um, The Most Valuable Asset on Earth, actually, I was starting to write my memoir, right? Because I have a powerful story being raised in that mentality. Um, when my husband died, what I did was the world saw it like a miracle, but for me, it was normal. That's how I was raised, you know. But while I was writing my memoir down, I kept getting interrupted with children. You know, it was as if I had to get the message out there that, listen, you have to save the kids. You have to write the importance of the kids. You have to tell them what God thinks about kids and how God uses them. And so while I was writing my memoir, I would, whatever thoughts came in my mind about the children, I would record it in a separate book. And before I knew it, it was complete and I published it. And that's exactly how this book came to be written. And then I did some research on publishers because it's my first time ever, you know, and nobody teaches us about publishing, writing books or anything. So, and then I came across the publisher in
Bogota Publishers.
Photo publishers, yes. So when I spoke to Richard, Mr. Richard, I was very, very, very impressed. I was so impressed. And you actually guided me through. You had a lot of patience, if you can remember.
Yes, thank you so
Because I'm
much.
somebody who like asks a lot of questions and
Yes,
just
that's
doesn't
correct.
follow blindly. And you had a lot of patience and lots of skills. So, Mr. Richard, you helped me big time in getting this book up and running and done. So I was even surprised that I sold books on Amazon. You brought it to my notice. May, you sold books. So thank you for that.
You are welcome. Thank you,
Yes.
thank you, thank you so much, May. Yes, you may proceed.
Okay. Yes. Um, the challenges. Should I speak about the challenges that we have, Richard?
Yeah, yes, yes, proceed. Maybe before you go into the challenges, is there anyone who wants to ask you something? Mem Lambo and Sister Tolagele, if you have something to ask before she proceed into the challenges you face as an author, you can unmute yourself and ask her a question if you have one or two questions. Thank you. All right, it seems there are no questions so far. Can you please tell us about the challenges and how you overcame them as an author? Because I strongly believe that as an author, there are many challenges, especially after your book is being published. What are the challenges that you faced? It could be sales, it could be some rejections, it could be other other things? What are the challenges that you faced after your book was published, and how did you overcome those challenges, if there are any? Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. I wondered if I'll be allowed to speak about the challenges that I had in writing the book as well.
Yes,
A
you
little
can
bit.
include them. Yes, you're welcome.
You know, being a very friendly person and speaking to people from all walks of life, my whole life, I discovered, especially in South Africa, that every human being has a story, a amazing story that will blow the world away. South Africa has stories in abundance. And we do not think that these stories and these challenges that actually came to us, it's nothing personal to harm us. It's actually there so we can retell the story, write the story, and help someone else in the world or in another country to say, listen, this is how we overcome it. That's what I firmly believe. So, even in the Bible, things were recorded so that we can see how, for example, Job, how did he manage to overcome his struggles? So if challenges and stories are not written and recorded, we are doing injustice to our experiences. I firmly believe that now, right? So we can look all around us, there's a story. Even your cooking is unique. Uh, the way you go and sell food on the street to survive is unique. Um, we have topics galore, right? We are not short of topics. Everybody has a story to tell. So, having said that, because of the history of our country and the challenges that we are still experiencing financially, and now with COVID that came in and destroyed what little we tried to do, our focus is on work and getting money in. And so time was a big challenge. So I would say, I had to read up a lot, like how to overcome them. And then what I discovered was that you have to set aside at least an hour or two, or get up very early in the morning, an hour early, and that is your writing time, right? And if you stick by a schedule every day, that there is no excuse not to write at all. There's no excuse, right? And then with our literature, not everybody is good at English, maybe, or any language, So that is why we have people like Mr. Mkodu, Richard. Uh, he's the one that, he charges us, and then he will go through the finer details, put everything right, and that's why we have someone there who can help us to proofread and so we don't have to spend too much time on that. Just get it recorded, get it done. So though the time constraints, and I don't think we should make an excuse for that. We have to set aside a time. This is your life. And then, as Richard said, our writing and our books and our stories is actually your what if you have a business, you have a card, you have a business card. Actually, a book is your business card, right? Once you get the book out there, you can go do talks, you can go do events. It's offset from your book. So that book is your finance, is your money. Okay. It's not just a story that has to be told to help people. Yes, people are going to buy the book because they want to know what you went through. So those are the challenges. And then I think authors also are concerned that the honesty, right? In your book, like I'm writing a memoir, honesty is so important. We must not be afraid to be open and honest, right? But if you want to like talk about somebody else, use a different name maybe just to protect yourself. But oh, honesty is vital in your own stories, okay? And so the challenges, those are the challenges that we do have. And it's nice that we come together like this so that we can, help each other in overcoming our challenges. So the time and how and where do we start? What do we start? What do we say? Things like that. Um, those are the challenges that we have. Must we start like when we were born or when? So that is it. And I don't think writing should be restricted to just, big authors or film writers or whatever. Like every ordinary person has a book in them. Everyone has a story, right? I would also like to hold workshops to teach authors about these things. And then the marketing, it's very well and good that we have the book, beautiful cover. It's all done. We are so proud of it. But that's only the beginning. That is not the end. So a lot of authors have this misconception that when they start the book and they struggled and they climbed the mountain and they wrote the book and then they publish it, that now that's the end. That is the false conception. That is absolutely false. Right? That is only the beginning, because now you can't throw your money on the table and leave it there. That's what you're doing. This money on the table. What you're going to do? So the marketing, the talks. We can help each other to organize these events for support, where we go out to schools, go out to churches, go out to the public, make an event and talk about your book or talk about a topic that's on your book, and you sell your book on the side. And you're marketing. Your book has to be marketed constantly, okay? And so I think those are the challenges that authors face, that, there's no sales. So I went into the social media. We are so fortunate now that the social media, I have a non-profit organization for women and youth, okay? And then because I do a lot of uplifting of the youth and children and parenting skills, that my book is always available for them to sell, for sales to take place. Because once you talk and it comes from your heart and the honesty is there, and people want to buy your book, you have to be very authentic and real, right? So I think those are the challenges. I'm not sure if I missed any other challenges that authors face. You're welcome to tell me.
Wow, what a testimony. Thank you so much, May. Thank you so much. Especially the point where you raised to say every author or every one of us has a story to tell. There was one of my slogan in the past to say we all have a story to tell. Some stories are nice, some are sad. Yesterday, those who are following me on social media, they will see that I posted something there to say I'm actually a three-time suicide survivor. I'm not sure if you saw that. That means I have a story to tell along those lines. But thank you so much, May, for sharing your stories. particularly about the challenges that you faced. Before we proceed, is there anyone from our other fellow authors who want to ask you maybe a question, or they want to share their testimonies? I'll be very happy to hear from them as well. Pastor Tolagele, are you there, ma'am?
Yes, yes. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Pastor.
Good morning,
And
Pastor.
thank you so much. Yo, what a testimony. What a
Hmm.
testimony. Thank you so much for sharing your testimonies and your experience. I've got a question here. How do you balance your life as an author? Like making sure that okay, so you are benefiting something after publishing your book. Like how do you balance everything? See, you are not suffering, or maybe you are not losing and stuff, and you are making sure that every area in your life it's just balancing. How do you balance your life as an author? I just want to know that.
Thank you so much, Pastor Tolagele. It's a good question. Thank you so much. But the good part about today is that the answers will come directly from you authors. Maybe you have an answer for that. Dr. Tibane, we welcome you. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. You are more than welcome. Thank you so much. May, can you answer that question?
I wonder if the question was financially or time-wise. Okay. Time-wise, I think being a woman, we are very good at multitasking, right? We forget our strengths. We forget who we are. I think in this Western way that we are now taught that we have to be as a woman. If you come back to our roots, you will see women have multitasked all their lives. You know, they would go and fetch water in the river and they would come and make the fire. I grew up in that era, make our fire and put water in there to burn. So coming now to this modern era, okay, so some people have young kids. That's a big challenge. So you have to be a bit selfish. You have to, May is important. May has a message to, besides her job, she has a job, 9 to 5. And then she has a spiritual duties where she's going choir practice or church service, testimony. Okay, that's one thing. And then how does she fit in writing? Okay, so as I said, take an hour from the morning where everybody is still asleep. It's your time. You go, you have a bath, you pray, you do your writing. Okay, you can solve that in that time. So if the children are older, if they understand that, okay, mommy is busy, she's going to be writing now, and I'll be busy for an hour or so. Okay, so you have to set your parameters. You have to set your boundaries with the family and friends that this is my time and this is what I will have to do. And in connection with marketing, what I discovered is that, yes, we fall into this whole notion that I wrote the book, the job is done. So once you have that closed mindset, you're not going to market it. You're going to be, you know, it's like you're going to ask money for my story. It's like you're ashamed to sell it. Sometimes you give it away because you want people to listen to your story. I did that at the beginning, that whenever I went to work with youth, I carried some books and I gave it to them. okay, these you couldn't afford it, but I asked them, listen, send me a review, please. Okay. And there are some leaders who I wanted them to read the book, which I gave to them. But that is not the right mentality. That book is your business, right? You have to have a different outlook towards the book that you wrote, that this is it's your money. If you're going to put so much of effort into something and you can't convert it to a money or a business, it's of no use. Okay. So you have to change that mindset to know that this is your business. Okay. And you have to be confident about your book, that it is worth buying, it's worth investing. And that is why you actually host events, or in the church, you can do talks and market your book, or as a women's gathering, and people have what you call this in our communities. People are often getting together in stockfels, things like that. So if you can have those social events and just sit and then you're not doing anything, why don't you turn it around into making like everybody that has a turn in their homes can do something to generate some income? Women need that.
May,
And I think sorry.
can I interrupt you? I'm sorry about that. We have 4 minutes remaining.
Okay.
Yes, we have 4 minutes remaining. Can I just sum up, and then after that, I will allow Dr. Tiban just to share your 30-second experience. What's your experience as an author? Just to share with our other authors. Thank you so much. You may proceed, just sum up everything. We have 3 minutes remaining
Okay.
now.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Richard, for the opportunity to, talk about my book. The book was actually about children and youth, and how valuable that asset is, and they don't fall into the trap that gold and diamond and uh, are assets in the world. And the nice thing is, the third world countries, the poorest countries in the world, are actually rich with this asset. So in the book, I teach you how you invest in this asset. You don't own your children. They're given to you, they're lent to you. What you do with it, how you reproduce with that, is your blessing or not. So that is my book that I have written about children. And yes, it's on Amazon Kindle. It's 55 rands. Thank you so much for the opportunity on speaking about my book, Richard. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much, May, for sharing your stories. We learned a lot. Thank you so much, and we pray that God may continue to bless you, and also to be one of our best sellers. Thank you so much. Dr. Tivane, in 30 seconds, will you please share your writing journey, your testimony about writing and book sales in 30 seconds? Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, Babun Bogoto, and greetings to all colleagues on the platform.
Thank you, Doctor.
It has been an exciting journey indeed. I must say that if you have a story, then it means you can write a book. I want to encourage everyone here that those of you who have got stories, personal stories, and what have you, you can turn that into a book, and a book that will be read by everybody all around the world. I have written a number of books ranging from democracy, politics, economics, religious, and what have you. There's just a number of books. Babun Bogoto has assisted in some of them, reproducing some of the books. Some of them are available on all online bookstores. It is doable. You can. Anybody has a story that you can tell and share with the world. Thank you very much, Babu Mbogoto.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Wow, what a story. Thank you so much. Our next workshop is going to be on the 16th of June. Unfortunately, this one is not going to be online, but I'll also look at the number of people who will be interested on the online or the face-to-face one. The 16th June workshop will be actually focusing on funding, because we've got funding available from other funders. So I encourage authors to actually attend the workshop, and they will learn a lot. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless you and have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. God bless you and goodbye. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mbogoto. Thank you, colleagues. Have a nice weekend.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.